Okay, this is going to be another update on my Cr80R. I have the frame and everything put together, and I had to cut new linkage pieces. Those are the old ones, and the new ones I cut out of steel that's around the same thickness, maybe a little bit thicker. But I have that all set up, and I have the old shock. I decided to have this run around here and then have the reservoir for the shock just over here up against there, so it's just not touching the frame and it's hanging there. And it does look like it sits a little weird. I need to take the plastics and stuff back off. The seat I don't have on here, right? I just put it on, just the 2 bolts. I need to clip it under itself and stuff. I started cleaning out the bottom end of the engine. I've already cleaned out the crankshaft. I've already cleaned out crankshaft and put it in a bag. I've already cleaned out that side of the engine. So once I'm done cleaning out this side of the engine, I'll start working on getting the engine together. I've cleaned out all the transmission stuff, so this should be fairly easy to get together. And the stuff that I'm using to clean it out is carburetor cleaner. And I'm using Kleenexes or paper towels to wipe out any dirt. The crank bearings seem good, the old ones, so I'm just going to leave them. This bearing, though, it spins freely, but it makes some noise. And this bearing makes noise too. Now I wonder if those bearings would wear out quicker than that bearing, because that bearing's in a concealed environment and it's only turning at a certain speed, where these bearings might be turning at 3 times the speed because these are transmission bearings. And this bearing right here has had a lot of force on it through the years, because that's the output bearing right there. I'm trying not to get too much carburetor cleaner on that little sensor right there, but it shouldn't matter if a little bit gets on it. And then once I'm done cleaning that out, all the parts in there need to be cleaned out, and I need to replace the water pump seal. I don't know how to get the water pump seal out yet. Let's set this down. Because that seal, you can't pop it out like the other ones, because there's a shaft that's in the middle right there. But here's the stuff for the clutch, and this is water pump stuff. That is just a few bolts, and there's that shifter lever thingy, and then here's the flywheel and the flywheel puller. And I'm going to get rid of these types of hoses. These hoses are used on cars, and they're not meant to expand much. They're meant to hold a lot of pressure and then just hold it there. The type of hoses I would like to put on it are silicone ones. But I'm starting to get some work done on the engine. I have the transmission all organized in that bag. It's a little bit hard to see. See if I can zoom in on it. But it's a little bit hard to see in that bag. And then there's the shifting fork with a few gears. There are more shifting forks. there's one shifting fork, and then there's another one right in there. And then I'm also going to take and clean these out, because I'm switching, since I'm doing the seals and stuff, from non-synthetic to semi-synthetic oil. And you can see these bearings are pretty good shape. The crank bearings are in really nice shape. These are all OEM bearings. This bike hasn't had that many miles put on it, or hours, or whatever. And then here is my jug. I've already made a video on this. Here's the jug of the engine, or the cylinder, or whatever you like to call it. And the head is there. I'm going to do some more polishing to the head. I'm not quite finished with it. But all you do to polish this is you take the spark plug and you put it in the drill, the very end part of the spark plug that's threaded. And then you take wet sandpaper and you put it along the inside and you sand it down. But you don't want to go too far. But as you can tell, I had it honed, and I've polished that all up, and I've polished the exhaust port. And I've also had it put through a hot bath, where they sprayed hot water on it, and then they sprayed hot oil on it. So that's going to be it for this update. Now, this bike right here, that's what it looks like now. So if you're doing this, and you put that older shock on there, it will sit way too low. But that's just a little tip if you're going to do this. And then you're going to need to cut some bars out of steel. I'm sure aluminum would work, but I don't think it would last very long. Let's see. If I can get a good picture of that. I had to grind the edge down so it doesn't rub along the edge of the linkage there. Then that's just a piece of steel. And I have both of them mounted on there. And I also bought this stuff. These right here, because these broke when I was trying to take them off. They're not too good. But that's just, if you're going to be doing this, you need to know that the shock is way too short. And that you're going to need to do a lot of adjusting and messing with it. I can make another video if you want me to of how I made those just shorter. But that's it for this update. Please comment, like, and subscribe.